Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello to you. Welcome back to the channel and welcome today to Mike's Garage. His Instagram link is down below, but we've got a few pretty exciting cars to take a look at, one of which we're going to jump into to go for a short little ride. So to get things started, we've got a Mansory Lamborghini Aventador Roadster, and alongside that is the Koenigsegg Agera R, a blue carbon car, finished now with some gold accents, but this thing is just astonishing. However, let me head over to the other side to show you the main reason we're here. You might be thinking it's the Laferrari, and believe it or not, that is a straight-piped Laferrari, pure noise that will come out of that V12, and hopefully we're going to hear that quite soon. But no, the car I want to take a look at today is Mike's Pagani Huayra BC. Now, I have seen a BC before. Of course, I filmed with a number of them. I went with Greg B to collect his from the Pagani factory, but Mike has had this car. He's driven it well out here, and it is a very, very nice specification. So you've got blue carbon fibre mixed with the black raw carbon fibre in the centre sections, custom painted stripe that runs over the full length of the car. But originally they were building 20 of these, named the BC after Benny Caiola, who was one of the first, I think the first Pagani customer and a friend of Horacio Pagani. It's the more hardcore version, I think you could say, of the Pagani Huayra. It maintains the gull-wing doors that open upwards. It has the 6-litre biturbo V12 from AMG and a Falterback. It makes 755 horsepower and as much as 1,100 newton meters of torque. But this thing is basically an angry brute. You can tell that from the design. Just look at the front splitter, look at these canards, the extended shape they carry around. But it's also a work of art and design. Look at the way the door mirrors come out of those stalks from the Louvres, but the shapes, it's also elegantly designed. In fact, that's basically what Pagani are most famous for designing and building cars that are so magnificent to actually look at and explore. And as we come around towards the back, it has this particularly unusual shape to the rear wing, where it comes out of the arches, I suppose you could say, those haunches over the back of the rear axle, and then connects through. It's different from other cars that are out there, but still the Huayra that we know underneath with the shapes and flair that it carries. Now, I do actually have in my pocket the key for this car, which is this rather lovely thing. This actually goes into the center console to start it up, but let's head around and just open up the doors and have a look at the inside. It opens up like this, and that's where you connect it into the car. Very nice piece. So, the gull-wing doors have small levers right here, and then you can feast your eyes on the interior of the Huayra BC. This is, the absolute top end of BCs. There might be a Roadster model that will follow, but for the moment, this is the flagship Pagani vehicle in its entirety. Inside, again, just a continued work of art. The exposed nature of the gear selector there in the center with the 7-speed sequential gearbox that the car has, but the way you can see the linkages down beneath that, the design to the seats, the way it's hollowed out and opened up. The car is 132 kilos lighter than the original Huayra, down to a dry weight of just 1,218 kilos, which for a car with a 6-litre V12 is really quite impressive. But continuing around the interior, look at the dials, look at those displays. Everything is so lovely. Your different driving modes are controlled through this neat toggle down here. It's a magnificent thing to just look at. And let me come around now, actually, and open up the other door as well. These two cars, two completely different Italian masterpieces. I'll open up this gull-wing too, where I can show you the opening to the rear engine bay. Well, firstly, we can explore just how that looks with the doors up. Spectacularly cool. But if we come around here now, you open up these levers, or these latches, I should say, on each side, which you undo like so, release that through, and then you unclick that, and come around to the other side, watching the head, of course, on the doors. Don't want to catch those, and undo this one, like so, and then you do this latch down at the bottom, and then you lift up the entire rear clam, which is super lightweight. Carbon fibre, of course, in entirety, but that weighed next to nothing, and it reveals the engine back here, the power plant that is so famed, having been worked on, in many cases, by Michael Kubler, famously in a Falterback in Germany near to Stuttgart. You just have nice things in here, nice touches like the way the toolkit is stowed away down there inside that rear flank area. You can also open up the front, and maybe we should do that while we're here, just so we can fully transform the Huayra right now. and get it opened up. These are a little bit fiddly to do one-handed, I'm not gonna lie, but there we go. Unlatched, that latch is undone. And if we come around to this side, just to do this one, like so, and unlatch it there, the front clam will also hinge up towards the front to reveal actually the way the airflow works through here. The radiators, the cooling that comes through the wheel wells, but most dramatically, how about that? It's a transformer, people. The Huayra BC is a crazy, crazy, crazy transformer. To delicately close this back down, make sure the points all line up, press it down and it will click, and then we'll do the catches afterwards. I'll close the front and rear clams at the moment, just make sure they're all in place. That's latched. Come and do the rear. You just want to be so careful with everything that you're touching on this because of how special it is. So you need to make sure this is all fully lined up. Down we go. I'm being the most delicate I've ever been with anything. And then you give it a press. That side is clicked. We'll come around and just do the other side very quickly. Learning as I go here. There we go, that's clicked into place. So I just gotta do the latches quickly, and then we'll jump in and fire it up. All is now closed up, so let us take a seat inside the Huayra BC. Now these were all well and truly sold out. Cost 2.1 million euros when it was new, and no doubt even more than that now. But let's take the key, open it up, it will be inserted into here. So the first step is to turn on the ignition, wake the car up. There we go, the screen comes to life. Oh, that's nice. Just the look of all of this with the metal dials. And then the second turn to bring it and fully wake it up. Oh yes, it's letting me know that the seatbelt and the door are open, but the noise. Wow, goodness me, here we are. The Pagani Huayra BC. An absolute work of art. This is just beautiful in here. The way this is presented and displayed. My goodness. Look at the handles to open the door, the way that works. Everything about this. The storage bucket that you have here behind, carbon fibre. It's all just beautifully presented. The carbon, or the carbotanium of the tub, to be even lighter that this car actually has. Everything is so nice. All the things you touch and interact with. So, I think it's time to grab Mike. Let's take this for a drive. We're joined then by Mike. Thank you very much for having me today. How's it going?
Nice to see you here.
Thank you. Well, we're about to have a start up now from the outside so we can hear what the Huayra BC sounds like from the back as he brings it into life. It has such a unique sound, the way it bursts into life like that. Totally unlike, well, just about anything else. Not necessarily the loudest car on the world, but a V12 proper sound, as it should be. The thing just looks so wonderful. That's really what it's about. Reach up to pull the gull-wing door down. Lights on. Carefully pull it out beside the Laferrari. Gorgeous. So nice. Time for me to jump in then, passenger ride in a truly special car, the Pagani Huayra BC. So here we are. What a machine. Reach up, pull down the door. Oh, I need to be less delicate. There we go. Door closed. We are in. What a stunning thing. Okay then, here we are. So you get these lovely gauges in the BC. And the noise is crazy, the feeling, it's so much torque. I mean, 1100 newton meters, right? Please do excuse the very low sun though, guys. Wow, mirrors out there over the wings, literally wing mirrors, not door mirrors, on the Huayra. It's cool shifting with the easy. So much kind of, well, induction sound, right? The whistles going on, the turbo side of things.
That's what Horatio was proud of him about this car.
Absolutely.
He actually tuned this sound to his liking.
It's ferocious. Honestly, it's absolutely ferocious. It squeezes you into the back of the seat completely. I'm just constantly being thrown right back into the one-piece bucket for the seat. I'm being a little bit kind of taken by surprise by the BC. It still has such a kind of mechanical involvement. The shifting, the suspension as well. The suspension is very rigid. That was the kind of track setup of the Huayra from the very beginning. But the click noises that you get from the shifter as you go down are awesome. Just feel how much power this has. It's so ferocious. I'm not gonna lie, this is not the best motorway car. It is very bumpy and hardcore right now. You can feel all of the ridges. I mean, this is not a smooth road by any stretch of the imagination. Ah, a little tunnel. That is very convenient. This thing is silly fun. It feels, I mean, from what I can tell at the passenger seat, it just feels like an entertaining car to drive.
It's very track focused.
Very track focused, very hardcore, very
uncomfortable like that.
Yeah. I think because it looks so pretty, you think it might be quite a soft car.
It's not.
But it really isn't. It's an angry, aggressive machine.
Go down here and then you can drive it as well.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh gosh. Maybe not quite like that. I don't know what to say. This is epic. Well, thank you. I'm excited now. I'm a bit speechless. Okay then. Are you sure about this?
Yeah, you're not gonna crash it.
We're safe, I think. We should be in safe hands here.
Yep.
Alright.
Safer driver than me.
I will be very, very careful right now. So when you step out, you've got to watch your head on the gull wings. Let's come round, get into the driver's seat. Here we are, inside your very special toy. Okay. Down the door. I need to pass you this.
Yeah.
So, let's get comfortable. Take this easy. So to adjust the mirrors, that's in here. Go back to the home screen, then settings, mirrors. Okay, then you can reposition them digitally. That's quite interesting. Seat is manual, one piece, the lever underneath. But other than that, all self-explanatory. Handbrake down here.
Yeah, just put the seatbelt on and
There we go.
disengage automatically.
Okay, then into
First
gear
gear.
will be down like that. Give it a click. And here we go, out onto the road. So, here we are, driving in the Pagani Huayra BC. Taking it gently. So let's actually put it into comfort mode to see if you can drive it gently. And to be honest, you still feel the very, very firm suspension. Completely, but you go up into sport, you can also go into race with that reduced traction, drop some gears. Noises as you downshift. Then unleash all of the fury. This gearbox is that it's an automated manual. It's not like a double clutch, and that's done to be a slightly lighter weight. But it does mean you have to fluctuate the throttle to be precise and get the smoother shifts. But the car is basically a moving piece of art. It's a car with a lot of performance, but you're driving it very aware of that side of it more than just purely for the driving. side of things, I think, which gives you a slightly different approach, but I mean, just everything about this, the way you click it into gears, so cool, so cool.
This is actually my favorite part of the car.
It's really awesome, isn't it? Left and up for reverse, or just into neutral like that. And then down into first. Here you get those backfire pops. Shame we've got a traffic jam, but that is just the way you see it at the bottom. You see all the movements happening straight through. So cool. You hear the massive thud of the gear being banged in by the gearbox behind you. And we're inside this like glass canopy, the glass panels on the roof, also the rear window, so you feel very, very airy inside here. And then everything's just so pretty that you're looking at. The design is like, absolutely spot on, it's beautiful. Even these controls to do the windows. Literally this lovely piece, everything you touch is awesome. Pretty impressed so far, this is very, very nice. Oh yeah, the light toggles as well.
Yeah,
really launch control in the middle. So how does that work? I mean, obviously you have to be at a stop. You press that, and it engages launch mode.
Yeah.
So there's this feeling, or often referred to as fighter jet style, by having buttons on the roof, but fighter jets don't have buttons on the roof because they have glass canopies. But it feels like it nonetheless. So you come to a stop, you just pop it in first gear, press launch, and prepare to
take off.
Yeah, completely.
Actually, with that sound, it actually feels like you're taking off, and the car is so light.
There's so much wind noise.
Yeah.
You know, the air noise, the turbo noise, the whooshes, the swooshes, all the different sounds that you hear all around you. So if you turn it into race mode, it reduces traction a notch. That's for track only. Road opens up a notch, so silly fun. Yeah,
Happy
a
Tim.
very, very happy Tim. What an experience! Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I really like the feel of the steering wheel. It's quite small and tight. You've got your indicators on the wheel, of course. Shift paddles right behind, fixed to the wheel. Easily accessible. Drop it down to first gear. The violence of the shifts. It's an event. It's an absolute event to drive, which honestly is what a hypercar should be. It should be something that's really gets your juices flowing, gets the excitement levels high. Crazy. Goodness me then. We're back at base. Look at that rear end. What a good looking car. Magnificent thing. Okay then, that's the sound of the Huayra BC. Thumping exhaust system. Back in it goes then, alongside its Italian stablemate, the Laferrari. Wow, what an experience. So, driven the Huayra BC properly, I think. Some nice gear shifts and small accelerations there. A little bit more of an experience, and I drove Greg's very, very briefly, gently and carefully. For that, big thanks to Mike. Really, really kind of him. Amazing. That was an experience and a half, jumping into the passenger seat and then Mike letting me have the opportunity to drive the Pagani Huayra BC. I think it goes without saying that Paganis are some of the most beautiful cars on the roads. The Zonda that came first and then the Huayra that superseded it. It has that design, the intricacy of the details, but mixed with the AMG power plant and engineering side of things. But what I know now about this car in much more detail than what I could say I had experienced of it before is how dramatic it is to drive, how much of an event and an experience it actually is, how it's lively, it makes all sorts of different noises that are going on behind you, the whooshes and sounds of the turbos, but also the stiffness of it, how hardcore it is, and how it's quite an intense driving experience. It's a weird crossover between the design side and the driving side. It's not the brutish, aggressive design, but that is what it is like to drive. So it makes it quite an interesting package, and obviously a truly special car, a very limited number of Huayra BCs out there. In fact, a very limited number of Paganis out there in general. To date, they've only made a couple of hundred from their base near to Bologna in Italy, but the Huayra BC started as 20 units. There have been a few more research development cars since then, but originally just 20 of these, of their flagship model. So a ginormous thanks to Mike for the opportunity to experience this in full and to have a little go at the wheel. What a special day. Anyway, his link to his Instagram page is in the description down below, so please do go give him a follow. But thank you very much, as always, guys, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've certainly had a pretty memorable day, but that's it for this time, and I will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.